More than 300,000 students joined the examinations of the secondary education certificate in various governorates. 2 killed and more than 1,000 wounded in the third day of demonstrations in various cities in Turkey against the dictatorial policies of Erdogan's government. A unit of the Syrian army captures 2 bottles of the poisonous gas of Sarin in a terrorist hideout. Good afternoon, welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam. President Bashar al-Assad issued the legislative decree number 186 of 2013, appointing Ahmed Sheikh Abdul Qadir governor of Latakia and ending the appointment of Sulaiman Mohammed al-Nasser in this post. The new governor was sworn in before the president, who received him after that, giving him some instructions and wishing him success in his mission. More than 300,000 students completed their final exams last week. Today, another group of more than 300,000 began their secondary school examinations in thousands of centres in various governorates. The massive presence of the students in these centres foiled the terrorist attempts to hinder this operation. According to the statistics of the Ministry of Education, more than 74% of the students attended these examinations. The Minister of Education, Dr. Hezwan Al-Waz, sent a letter of reassurance to all the students and their relatives. He asserted that the ministry facilitated this process and offered to deal with all emergency cases immediately. Amnesty International said that 2 people were killed while more than 1,000 wounded in Turkey when the Turkish police used excessive force to suppress the protest demonstrations in Istanbul. For the 3rd day running, Turkish protesters lit fires in several places in both Istanbul and Ankara. Clashes against the Erdogan government continued as the protesters defied the oppressive measures of Erdogan's security forces in both cities, facing tear gas and pepper against young people throwing stones near Erdogan's office in Istanbul. Hundreds of protesters lit fires in the area of Tonali in the capital Ankara. There were clashes in the streets while helicopters threw tear gas on demonstrators. An armoured police car ran over a protester when it stormed a roadblock. The deputy leader of the Turkish Labour Party, Bolan Asinoglu, asserted that these demonstrations were a revolt against a dictatorship that has lasted for 11 years and against the wrong policies of Erdogan's government against the Syrian people. Russia objected to the intention of making the UN Security Council issue a statement presented by Britain about al-Qseir. The Russian objection was due to the fact that this draft statement was biased to the armed opposition. The UN Security Council did not issue a statement like this when the opposition controlled the town of al-Qseir. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov telephoned his American counterpart John Kerry to discuss ways and means of solving the crisis in Syria and to prepare for the coming international conference in Geneva. The Foreign Ministry said that the 2 ministers exchanged opinions about bilateral relations in various fields. In Hama, a military source said that 1 unit of our armed forces captured 2 bottles of the Sarin poisonous gas when they stormed a terrorist hideout. They also found automatic guns, pistols, explosive devices, communication equipment, and a tunnel leading to various places in the same quarter. In the Damascus countryside and within the course of confronting terrorist gangs, a unit combating terrorism captured 2 terrorists in an ambush and confiscated a Volkswagen full of weapons and ammunition. In the Bereda Valley, our armed forces clashed with the terrorist gang, killing and wounding several terrorists, including Asad Wardi and Mahmoud Shaban. The army controlled the quarter of Ovens in Jouber after killing terrorist gangsters, including Ahmed Mutawa. In Berze, our valiant armed forces continued to chase terrorists in the farms nearby, killing several of them, including Omar Bara and Iyad Knene. The army also destroyed terrorist hideouts belonging to the so-called Victory Front in El-Nabik. In Aleppo City, terrorist Yahya Shab was arrested along with 3 other terrorists while they were attempting to detonate a military checkpoint in al-Rashidin area. Terrorist Shab said that he lives in Bustan al-Qseir in Aleppo City, and he followed Abu Ali Salabi, a terrorist group, a few months ago as they gave him a gun and explosive devices which he used against civilians. Terrorist Shab added that he was tasked along with 3 others to detonate a military checkpoint to the Syrian Arab Army when he was arrested, and the other 3 were killed. Army unit just restored security to various villages in the Damascus countryside after defeating the last terrorist gangs there, particularly near the mills of al-Ghazlaniye. The Syrian Arab Army eliminated and injured terrorists belonging to Jabhat al-Nusra, most of them from foreign nationalities, in a series of operations in Damascus countryside. An official source told Sana correspondent that the army eliminated a number of terrorists belonging to Jabhat al-Nusra in Hajira town. Among the dead were Tunisian terrorists Habib Mutani, Mahmoud Rafai and Khazim Shana'a. The source added that a Syrian Arab Army unit chased terrorist groups in Madayav Valley, injuring some of them. Meanwhile, a second unit destroyed a gathering for terrorists in the town of Yelda, and heavy machine guns they used against the citizens. Among the dead were Ziad al-Hindi and Fahad Tayyara. The source pointed out that the army units eliminated a number of terrorist groups in the farms surrounding Deir Salman in eastern Ghouta, including Mohammed Khatib and Hussam al-Aqra. The Syrian Arab Army units also eliminated terrorists near al-Mleha town, including Osama Qal'a and Mahir al-Sha'ar, while other units killed Hisham Shala, leader of a terrorist group, and a number of terrorists with him who targeted the cars on Damascus-Homs Road in Harasta town. The Syrian Arab Army units chased a terrorist group in Beit Jan Farm and Khan al-Sheikh, who targeted citizens and their properties, killing and injuring them. Meanwhile, another unit destroyed a mortar shell and a terrorist den near al-Kuwaiti building in Yabrud town. The governor of Hama discussed the situation of potable water and general sanitation with a delegation of the UNICEF. He also discussed the efforts to combat disease in various areas of the city. He expressed appreciation of the UNICEF efforts to preserve and reform the equipment of water sanitation in al-Qseir, which served the city of Hama and 65 residence centers in Hama and Homs that were damaged by terrorist acts. Okay. A suicidal terrorist this morning detonated a booby-trapped car in Jouber in the Damascus countryside, wounding 10 citizens. 5 of them are in critical condition. The explosion was followed by a clash between our armed forces and a terrorist group. Several terrorists were killed, including Abu Akram Khoubiye. Our armed forces also clashed with another terrorist group to the east of Jouber, killing them all, including Hassan al-Nabki and Shadi Wahdi. The American paper Why Red revealed that the terrorist gangs in Syria possessed anti-armor guns of various calibers. These guns are no longer used by the American army, but they are used by its allies on a large scale. The paper said these guns were used in Libya under NATO supervision. The paper relied on a video film of the terrorists using such guns in the area of Kafar Naboudia in the Hama countryside. The guns have been smuggled to Syria, were smuggled to Syria a few months ago. The British paper, the Financial Times, pointed out that Britain was preparing to send weapons to the terrorist gangs in Syria if the coming Geneva conference fails. The paper quoted a British diplomat as having said that no precise time had been decided yet. However, the weapons may be sent to the armed gangs next August. That concludes our news bulletin for today. Thank you for watching. As for more news, you can visit our website, syriaonline.sy. And for our economic news, it's Vani after the break. God bless you and long live Syria.
Good afternoon. The Minister of Industry stressed that many steps were accomplished in establishing the Syrian Center for Accreditation, as the success of this project ranges between 30 to 70%, especially in drafting the legal legislations, standards and the institutional structure, emphasizing that this ambitious project reflects the national dimension as it achieves economic revenues. The governor of the Central Bank of Syria called to work according to the decision of the Prime Minister, which stipulates to direct all the general bodies to shoulder their responsibilities during the current circumstances through mandating the Central Bank to pay all the fines resulting from the obstacles which face the operations in light of the economic sanctions imposed on Syria. The amount is due to be paid through the banks that are committed to do all the transfers to the Central Bank's account, in addition to paying the delayed fines caused by the banks refraining from implementing the orders in the Central Bank's accounts. The manager of the Natural Disasters Fund for the Agricultural Production asserted that the specialized team has ended the final steps of the instruction draft. He added that the team concentrated on all the farmers affected from the natural disasters in order to reduce their material losses as much as possible. The Minister of Oil denied any intention to raise the prices of oil in the near term, pointing out that the high prices of gasoline, gas and fuel were applied to reduce the financial burdens on the country's treasury, as the subsidies approach 400% for diesel, 40% for gasoline and about 50% for gas, whereas the country has huge burdens such as the oil bill, which is estimated at more than $500 million per month, or about $6 billion a year. And now over to the exchange rates according to the bulletin of the Central Bank of Syria. With this, we conclude our news. Thank you for watching and goodbye.